So Aquaman just got worse for Amber Heard with her own media shills going to bat for James Wan and Jason Momoa. And on top of that, they're telling you the franchise, it's done. This is the second and most likely last movie here. And they're also telling you, Warner Brothers, they forced her out. She isn't invited to the party. She's done. She is done in Hollywood. Never thought I would see something like this from a giant mainstream shill. But here we are. We're going to talk about it today, too. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day. By the way, I hope you are doing excellently, man. I mean, this is big time. Why? Because you had Amber Heard go too far. She went after companies that support the media shills that she's involved with, people that they like as well with James Wan. Now they're calling her out and saying, hey, there's something fishy going on. What's the real story with Amber Heard and Aquaman 2? So this article existing at all is absolutely amazing. Why? Because we're talking about The Guardian, which is a large mainstream media outlet and an even bigger Amber Heard shill. And this is partly blaming her. It is partly admitting she's done. I mean, listen to this. It is absolutely crazy. So the director says her character was never intended to feature in Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom. The studio claims a lack of chemistry, but fans can't help but suspect the actor's public shaming is to blame for her greatly reduced role. So what's the truth about Amber Heard and the Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom? Was her widely mooted leading role in the movie reduced because she had no chemistry with Jason Momoa's sometime King of Atlantis? Or was it due to the media surrounding her legal battle with Johnny Depp, as the actor herself testified at trial in May last year? Already, there's quite a bit of admission, but check out this next part. Either way, we know that the second and most likely final solo Aquaman does not focus on Heard's mirror. I mean, right there. So much packed into that. They're telling you, that a multi-billion-dollar franchise here, it has a second movie. It's most likely going to be the final solo movie with Aquaman. Who is this about, by the way? It's about Heard, so that's pointing the finger directly at her. Continuing. But instead, it's a messy, shoehorn bromance between Aquaman and his half-brother, Patrick Wilson's Orm. Is it weird storyline, given the pair spent most of the previous movie hating on each other, but that doesn't mean it was only cooked up so Warner Brothers could push Heard out of the picture. So right there, they're saying, yeah, maybe they made this storyline just to get rid of her, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, which would be calling her out, by the way. Aquaman has reportedly had numerous reshoots, but surely they didn't involve changing the whole plot of the movie. Again, they're blaming her for all the reshoots too. I mean, that's astounding to see. Interviewed in Empire magazine ahead of the sequel's December release, by the way, that's coming very, very soon, director James Wan once again rolled out what has clearly become the studio's line on Heard's relegation to a minor role, commenting on the actor's suggestion that she had originally been due to play a bigger part in the follow-up 2018's $1 billion grossing Aquaman. The Saw director argued he always intended the sequel to go a different way. So he's calling her out right here, and The Guardian, they're actually putting that in print. I mean, that, to me, that's absolutely astounding. Now, check out James Wan's call out here, because James Wan is so professional in what he says. He is so nice in it, but he is still putting Heard on blast through and through. I mean, check this out. Quote, "It's fair that she said that, but she wasn't in my head as I was working on the movie. Actors don't necessarily know what we behind the scenes are thinking about, but this was always my plan. From the start, I pitched that the first film would be a romancing the stone type thing, an action-adventure romantic comedy, while the second would be an outright buddy comedy. I wanted to do Tango and Cash. Jason plays Arthur, larger than life. Patrick plays the straight man. It's not unlike what Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones did to Men in Black. And think about this here. If that's actually the truth, if that's the way that they were planning on going, Heard burned bridges, multiple bridges, basically saying, they decided that they're going to go this way. They can't do it without me. I mean, that's amazing if you think about it. And it gets worse here. Check out what The Guardian has to say about her acting. And even then, they're like, yeah, you know what? Other people got to come back and they can't act either. It's amazing. So wherein lies the truth? Even Heard's most hardcore fans would struggle to argue other than that her performance in the original Aquaman was a little bloodless, a CGI-fueled nullity. So they're saying, I mean, she was terrible in this. She wasn't good at all. But whether this was really the actor's fault, given she was on screen to provide a foil for Momoa's boisterous fish blokey heroic. I hate the way they write this. And not much more is open to question. I mean, that's amazing. They're looking for a reason to say, she's a terrible actress. But is that because she's really that terrible? Or is it because the movie, yeah, and it made her terrible? You know, if you're terrible, you're pretty much terrible. Moreover, if ropey performances in Wan's films always led to cast members being downgraded from the sequel, you'd have to wonder why they equally wouldn't. They go through different actors, but I thought it was interesting Nicole Kidman here. If you haven't seen the new trailer that dropped, the Japanese trailer, they spotlight Nicole Kidman over and over again while giving her the same split second. They don't give her any time at all. They give her a split second and then turn away. It's amazing because they focus on her so much. But they're both returning in the King of the Seven Seas, Mom and Dad. Despite Aquaman's impressive box office return, it is not exactly a film known for its performances. The Variety reported that Warner wanted to drop Heard from the sequel because of her lack of chemistry with Momoa and sent a letter to her lawyer to this effect in 2019. So there's clearly some evidence for that claim. So you notice right there, they're also calling her out again, saying, hey, there's actually evidence that they wanted to get rid of her back when, and they wanted to get rid of her because the way that she is with Momoa. And you notice she took shots at him too. That would kind of back that up, wouldn't it? Former DC Films chief Walter Hamada also testified in the 2022 defamation trial that there was an issue with chemistry. So they leave it there. But I mean, what they've done is they've admitted that she's done. They've called her out. They said that this franchise is done again. I never thought I would see them capitulate. I never thought that they would give someone like James Wan any type of room to speak, no matter what he said, no matter how nice. That shows you where Heard is right now. It's amazing. But let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel, by the way? Links are in the description. We'll leave it here. Thanking you again. See you soon.